Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson. You know, as business decision makers, we're always trying to catch a moving target, right? We're going back and forth between the economy and what's going on in the macro environment and also the workplace. And how do we help our individual workers, teams, and associates do the best jobs that they can? This back and forth can be sometimes hard to get a handle of. So for this Main Street Macro, I thought it would be interesting to talk about how to catch a moving target. Here are 3 things that you should try to do. 1, know the lay of the land, know what's changing on the economy. Last week was a really important week for the economy. It was a meeting of the FOMC where they talked about how the economy is growing and how it was changing. Now, what the Fed decided was no big surprise to those who were paying attention. They decided not to cut interest rates and keep them where they were, but they did say a few things that could help decision makers in their businesses. 1, they said that job growth continues to be strong. 2, they said that economic growth was strong. They actually revised it upward. And then we saw that the stock market reached an all-time high. What was the punchline here? That growth continues, and that growth is not risking inflation. So good news all around when it comes to the lay of the land. Now, the second thing a business decision maker needs to keep track of is looking ahead, because things are always changing and you can't stay rooted on what is today when tomorrow might be a whole new different ball of wax. This week, we're going to see a lot of economic indicators telling us whether that growth story without inflation continues. And one of those things is consumer spending. How is it holding up? We'll be looking at durable goods. We'll be looking at personal income to see if household wages, your consumer, their incomes are keeping up with all these price changes. And speaking of the consumers, 60% of the economy, we'll be looking at sentiment and how consumers are holding up through the changes ahead. Now, the third thing I would like to highlight is when you're a corporate decision maker or a business owner, the key thing is to focus on the worker, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to drive your business forward. And when we talk about workers, we're really looking at engagement. It's an important metric for employers and their employees, that emotional state of mind that prompts people to do their best work and sustain that elevated level of performance. That's why the ADP Research Institute has been tracking engagement across the globe since 2015, and we've surveyed more than 28,000 people in 28 countries over 6 continents this year, with the idea of looking at how organizations can increase engagement. Our latest survey shows that all of you are doing a great job. Worker engagement is on the rise, but there's a lot of variations, as you can imagine, across geography and teams. So when you add up all of these things that businesses have to be very focused on, they have to know the lay of the land, they have to know what's ahead, and they have to be very focused on their teams. That's how you catch a moving target. For more insights, for more thoughts and data, please check out adpri.org.